Welcome to the StockMiner.com studios here in the Black Hills of South Dakota. I'm your stock miner, Brian Johnson, making professional trading simple. And I am still having problems with my email server. I've been having problems for a while now, and just realized this went back a lot further than I thought. If you have sent me an email in the last 2 weeks or so and have not received any kind of a response to me, please let me know. I have sent out all emails, and so they should have got to you. There are some people that I've not heard back from, so I'm going to give you either names that might be in their email addresses, things like that. I don't want to give away too much, but these are some of the people that have written me that I haven't heard back from. I'm not sure if they got my emails or not, but those would be John Smith, Gil, Peng, Dav Moo, uh, two letters and Summerlin, two letters and Mitchell, and those are in their emails, and a Sid. So if you guys are listening to this and have not received emails from me in the last week or two, please let me know, because I have tried to send you stuff, and I'm just learning that my email server's having issues. So anyway, done with the business side of things. We did have another move down in the markets today. They will not stop bleeding to death. So it appears, as you see here, big move down, big bump up. I mentioned, it's got to get up over these levels for me to really start to get serious about the move to the upside. And so far, nothing yet. As I said before, nothing is broken to the bear side yet. Nothing, nothing, nothing. I really need to see a push above 10,150, 10,200 at the very least to start to believe that there's going to be a little larger bounce to the market. Now, maybe that still comes, but that did not come today. So if we look at the daily, as you can see, the potential hammer candle that probably had a lot of people salivating over the weekend did not work its way out too well today. So we have just another candle in just another spot on the chart. This was a textbook head fake by the markets. A brilliant way to do it too. Set up a really, really big hammer candle on a Friday afternoon when nobody else is around. You can't hide. You can't hide the selling pressure. Nobody's there. There's nobody there to sell to. So play around with the market, drive it up, make it look all nice and pretty, and then just move it right back down in the direction you want it to go. So continued action to the downside. Got to continue to play that now, and we will see that we are right down at the 9,900 level now. Once again, closing below the 10,000 area. They did such a good job of getting it back there at Friday, but not even an attempt to really hold it much above there today. The bulls made no attempt. So markets down today. We'll continue to watch this to the downside. I am still got a target on the downside now of this 96, let's call it 9,700 area. 9,700. It still needs to break a few more things. Still want to be cautious. We're in a very choppy, could be in a very choppy place right here. So you want to be careful if you're playing it long or short. Don't know if I'd be holding much overnight at this area. So if you are, be very careful. Drop your position sizes and play it as such. Moving on to the NASDAQ, it moved down today as well. Up and over this area here, only to pull back. The Dow was the weakest today, followed by the S&P. Now the NASDAQ, not quite as weak as the other two. But you can see it coming back to a very logical resistance point. This 50 period moving average on the 60 minute, and then just continuing to break itself back down. I don't see why we wouldn't maybe reach down in this area again and maybe retest this blue line. It's very common for me to see that. A break above and then a retest. Here we had a break above looking for a retest that never came. It blew right back down and through it. Maybe we get that same type of a look this time. From a daily standpoint, NASDAQ doing the same thing. Nice big hammer candle ending up in just a sideways chop action today. This one not quite as weak as the others, so you can see we didn't really break any of these more important levels down here. But still something to watch. It would have been way more interesting had the bulls been able to get it back up and above this area. Since they were not, still got to tip your hat to the bears. They've been very, very strong in here. So we're looking for breaks below here, about 1730 area or so, if you want to look for an intraday short. And maybe you can follow that down for a few points. NDX on a weekly. It's Monday. I'm not going to worry about it. SPX on a 60-minute. or SPS on a 60-minute, you can see it pulling right back up to a 20 period moving average. What did it do? Turned right around. 1070, 1075. These were areas I was really looking to get over. Just no power. No power at all today. So now falling right back down into these little lower levels here, watching for a break ultimately below about 1040 or so. That happens, and we're well on our way to what could probably be at least this 1020 area, if not lower. 1020 would also coincide right now with this 200-day moving average that's kind of sneaking its way up and over here. So I would look for this area to probably hold if we can get below that 1040 area in the future. But once again, huge hammer candle, nice volume. Yes, looked bullish, but man, my gut was like, ugh, just didn't seem right. It didn't. I don't know how to. I don't know how else to explain it except it didn't feel right. And here we see it tag the bottom side of this channel line very nicely. It also tagged the lower I had on the 60-minute. There was some resistance right above it at the 1070 area I talked to you guys about in the weekend, and falling down from there. So slowly, slowly bleeding itself to death. From a weekly, once again, this would be my target to the downside. But it's only Monday. Anything can happen. We could see maybe a little turnaround tomorrow, but man, things are really looking still very weak in the markets. VIX still more fear in the market. Nothing over the top, but a little bit more fear than certainly what we've seen the last umpteen weeks down in this area here. A lot of it coming in 2 weeks ago and now just basing itself sideways. So volatility on the index, volatility index on the options, not playing out to be all that much for